So safe God,
Staying at home is the most responsible thing to do. Please, learn a new skill, be a better version of yourself. That's what I spend my time doing. Prevention is better than cure. I break. I'm going to sit down for house. I'm not sure if I'm going to get back to socializing, but if you don't sit down for house, no good feel happy. Please, stay safe and stay responsible.
Top stories tonight. President Buhari Nta Abeokuta greets Muslims in Ramadan, advised them to adhere to COVID-19 instructions. Monarch donates fumigation machines to help curb spread of COVID-19. On special assignment, correspondent finds out risk associated with transmission route of coronavirus. Good evening and welcome to Channel 12 News and Nta Abeokuta. My name is Sanyula Balugu. We start with a story on Mr. President. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent his best wishes to Muslims in the country and all over the world as they begin this year's 30-day fast following the sighting of the moon. A statement by the senior special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu. President Buhari congratulates all Muslims as they commence this year's Ramadan fast, which is depicted by self-denial, universal brotherhood, austerity, and helping relatives and the needy. President Buhari describes Ramadan 2020 as a challenge because of the global pandemic, which has spread to more than 200 nations, with virtually all countries advising citizens to avoid large gatherings and have their prayers and meals, shuhur and iftar individually or with family at home. President Buhari reminded the faithful that in this Ramadan period, the kind of socializing they are used to now risks spreading the coronavirus. He, however, cautions Muslims while enjoining them to refrain from those Ramadan rituals and traditions such as group meals and congregational prayers that have been put on hold by Muslim religious authorities all over the world. President Buhari therefore urges Muslims to endure and not to use the coronavirus as an excuse not to participate in the Ramadan fast unless such abstention is warranted by the excuses clearly outlined by health and religious authorities. He wishes Muslims in the country and the world over all blessings of the holy month. And similarly, as Muslims around the globe commence the holy month of Ramadan fast, the Ogun State Governor, Prince Nta Abeokuta, has enjoined them to take full advantage of the holy month, with renewed faith in Allah and engagement in only the activities that are in consonance with the essence of Ramadan, and not just abstaining from eating and drinking from sunrise to sunset. In a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Abeokuta said the fast should purify and spiritually rejuvenate the souls, serve as a reminder about the tenets of Islam, instill empathy about the conditions of those less fortunate in the society and the need for generosity, and provide a veritable opportunity to earn bountiful rewards for all acts of worship. He urged the Muslims to use this year's Ramadan, which is peculiar, coming at a time of an unprecedented global coronavirus pandemic, to seek divine mercies and intervention to halt the spread of the virus and heal the afflicted, whilst noting that the virus has regrettably created the need to impose some measures, including social distancing on the society, which will prevent the Muslim from the usual congregational activities in mosques and other places, such as Taraweeh, Tafsir, lecture sections, and fast in the evening with friends and well-wishers at the time of breaking the fast. The social distancing does not in any way diminish the essence of the holy month, the reward of the fast, and the efficacy of the supplication of the individual Muslim, wherever he or she may be. We appreciate the various communities in Ogun State for the peaceful coexistence, demonstration of understanding of the need for the measures to fight COVID-19, and the support to flatten the curve of the spread of the pandemic. The governor once again urged all the residents to continue to adhere to all public safety regulations, observe personal hygiene, and cooperate with government in the fight against the pandemic. The People's Democratic Party has urged Nigerians to use the period of the Ramadan to pray fervently for the nation as well as instill acts of self-restraint as commanded by the teachings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. A statement from the party's National Publicity Secretary, Kola Olobodinyo, notes that the holy month of Ramadan presents a divine opportunity for mankind and Nigerians in particular to draw near to the Almighty Allah in supplication to bring solution to the challenges of life, especially the deadly COVID-19 pandemic. He adds that the coming of Ramadan at this trying time is yet another divine signal of Allah's love and mercy to deliver mankind from tribulations. It enjoins faithful to use the holy month to rekindle spirit of brotherliness by redoubling efforts in reaching out, supporting, and caring for one another, particularly the vulnerable and the downtrodden. The party also calls on Nigerians to continue to observe the health safety directives of social distancing and personal hygiene in the overall effort to defeat the plague and restore normalcy in the country, and prays for a peaceful and successful Ramadan. In the meantime, in continuation of this gesture towards cushioning effect of COVID-19 pandemic on the people of Ogun State, former governor and senator representing Ogun Central Senatorial District, Ibikunle Amosun, has extended distribution of palliative to the frontliners in the fight against the pandemic. Later, Abonde reports that over 6,000 bags of rice and other food items were also distributed to security agencies, media, and about 45 identified groups in the state. Details will be coming your way in our subsequent bulletin. Meanwhile, the fact that so many seemingly innocuous activities can transmit coronavirus is scary. And it is even scarier knowing the actual risk associated with each transmission route. What is not clear is if COVID-19 is also an airborne disease, and Tony Gandano tries to find out in this report.
COVID-19 is said to be a respiratory virus. Experts say it's mainly transmitted between people through respiratory droplets when symptomatic people sneeze or cough. This invariably implies that large droplets of virus laden mucus are the primary mode of transmission, which is why the Nigerian Center for Disease Control has advised everyone to maintain social distancing. While this is being observed, death toll has continued to increase. Apart from graffiti causing large droplets to fall to the ground within a distance of 6 feet from the infected person to another, many Nigerians are beginning to believe that coronavirus is also an airborne disease.
But wait, researchers discovered that it can be airborne and can stay in the air for 8 hours. Prior to this time, we believe it's through droplets.
Although government is working tirelessly to curb further spread of coronavirus, some people say the effort is more of a ballpark estimate than a hard and fast rule.
The routes of transmission of COVID-19 is through respiratory droplets. And what to know about respiratory droplet is some particles, probably from sneezing, from coughing. When someone sneezes, we notice that there are some particles that will come out, like a bulge. And when the spread touches probably a surface or it touches some other people, they didn't cover their nose properly. So those are respiratory droplets. Most of the time, we don't see it, but we may feel it on our body.
The medical experts, however, called for total obedience and adherence to medical rules and measures put in place by the government aimed at containing the virus. Nta Abeokuta, Nta News.
And still on COVID-19 scourge, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeokuta, has donated 2 fumigation vans to Osun State government to disinfect major parts of the state against COVID-19. Correspondent Femi Afariogun reports that Governor Adegboyega Oyetola received the facility in Osogbo. Moving on now, in a related development, commercial motorcycle riders, popularly known as Okada in Kwara State, will start to receive a loan of 5,000 naira each next week. Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak says the money is to ease their financial burden during this lockdown period. Raliat Ibrahim reports. We'll bring you a detail of that report in our subsequent bulletin also. Now to security matters.
Ohun mìíràn lè tán mọ́ ọ lóyún ṣùgbọ́n kò gbọdọ̀ jẹ́ owó ìpè. Yọdún.
Owó ìpè rẹ láti fi ṣe ètò nǹkan jọ̀wọ́ ṣàfikún àkókò ìpè rẹ.
Owó tán. Ìwọ ṣàtìtẹ̀ star 321 fún kọ́rọ́ mi credit kí o gba owó ìpè tí o lè sún àti sanwó rẹ̀ síwájú. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ ṣó pẹ̀lú kọ́rọ́ mi credit. Gbé pẹ̀lú omi kan wá méjì gíláàmù ni o gbé wá ìrọ̀kọ̀ gbé wá. Unlimited.
Is building a new Nigeria. That's why the government is mobilizing in its efforts to ensure that this student is the deal. Let's stay at home and stay healthy. The additional 2 weeks lockdown as demanded by President Buhari for leaders in Abuja is for the good of all. Wash your hands regularly, maintain social distancing, and use hand sanitizer. Let's obey the stay-at-home order. We must show some understanding towards the divisions by stopping the spread of COVID-19. Our healthy nation is a worthy nation. Stay at home. Stay safe. This message is also representatives representing a real challenge and a potential constituency.
Whenever you notice or experience leakage of gas in your kitchen, please take the following steps. First, turn off the knob of your gas cylinder. Turn off the gas burner. Put a filament-like bulbs in the kitchen and open the windows widely for ventilation.
In the event of fire outbreak occasioned by liquefied petroleum gas, do not attempt to use water to quench the fire. If possible, turn off the knob of the gas cylinder. Use fire blanket to cover the fire and use the appropriate fire extinguisher if you're trained to do so.
If the fire becomes uncontrollable, evacuate the building immediately and call the fire service or other appropriate agency for help. Think safety first, always.
This message is brought to you by the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, Abeokuta Field Office, Ogun State.
Welcome back. We now take again the presentation of Oni of Ife to Osun State government. The Oni of Ife, Oba Adeokuta, has donated 2 fumigation vans to Osun State government to disinfect major parts of the state against COVID-19. Correspondent Femi Afariogun reports.
The motorized modular fumigators fabricated at the palace of the Oni of Ife were tested few days ago in Ile-Ife. It It is the desire of the Imperial Majesty to distribute the fumigators across the states of the Federation. But first, charity begins at home as it donates two to Osun State government.
We need to apply more prevention, and this is a very wonderful technology that can actually avert all these things. We're advancing it on daily basis because we know that it's now going to be a necessity for essence of our living.
Governor Yetola says the foresight of the monarch as a great one, capable of saving the state and the country from COVID-19 pandemic.
The creativity is something that is worthy of commendation. We eventually will get to know some of the other things to ensure proper maintenance, to ensure effective use of the technology, and to perhaps even replicate it in our local government.
The locally made facility designed to fumigate large areas and destroy via elements in the environment converts liquid disinfectant to fog and has no harmful effect on human health. In Osogbo, Femi Afarego, NTA News.
And now to security matters. Suspected killers of late Mrs. Funke Olakunrin, daughter of foremost Afenifere leader Ruben Fashomote, have been arraigned at a magistrate court in Akure, Ondo State capital. Olajide Bello reports that the arraignment, however, suffered a setback due to non-issuance of legal advice by the State Department of Public Prosecution.
4 suspects in the killing of late Mrs. Funke Olakunrin, daughter of foremost Afenifere leader Ruben Fashomote, on July 13, 2019, were arraigned before the magistrate court on a 4-count charge bordering on felony, conspiracy to commit murder, and kidnapping. Each of the accused persons pleaded not guilty to the charge. The prosecuting counsel, led by the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Adekola Olawe SAN, in his application asked the court to order the Nigeria Center for Disease Control to collect blood samples of the accused persons to ascertain their health status on COVID-19 and other ailments so as to determine whether to isolate them or otherwise as part of measures to contain the spread of the virus. He also prayed the court to remand the accused persons at the Nigeria Correctional Facility Service at Owo, pending the issuance of legal advice from the State Department of Public Prosecution, as the center at Abeokuta is currently congested. The judge, Ngozi Bokmanuel, in her ruling, remanded the accused persons at the Owo Correctional Center and ordered the officials of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control to collect the blood samples of the accused persons for COVID-19 testing to determine their status. She later adjourned the matter to 3rd of June to give way for the issuance of legal advice by the State Department of Public Prosecution.
The charges have been wrote to them. At this level, the court has no jurisdiction, so they cannot take their plea, which is the High Court of Justice that has that kind of power. So, pending the duplication done, we have been ordered to be remanded at our correctional services center there because this will look in order to full to capacity for me. But we still have some vacancies there. Okay, that's why we are taking them to be remanded to tell them to when pending the issuance of legal advice by the DPP and district.
Officials of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control promptly reacted to comply with the court order. From Akure, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
That's it on Channel 12 News tonight. Stay safe, maintain social distancing. Good night.
Muhammadu Buhari Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ti kí àwọn mùsùlùmí kú ti oṣù Ramadana tó wọlé dé. Wọ́n gbà wọ́n lámọ̀ràn kí wọ́n tẹ̀lé àwọn ìlànà àmúlò ní àsìkò tí a wà yìí. Ọba aláyé Ọ̀nìrìṣà ló ti pèsè ọkọ̀ afúnògùn kòkòrò fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Lórí àkànṣe ìròyìn akọ̀ròyìn wa ti lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn onímọ̀ láti lọ wádìí ọ̀nà wo ni àrùn kòkòrò coronavirus ló ń gbà tàn kálẹ̀ jùlọ. Ẹ kú àṣálẹ́, ẹ sì kú bí ìlú ṣe rí ọ̀dẹ̀ òdòbí. Ìròyìn ló ń dé sí etí gbọ̀nyìn láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn Nta Abeokuta. Fúnmiláyọ̀ Pátọ́lá ni oníròyìn ìròyìn ọ̀hún rèé. Aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ló ti ránṣẹ́ kú oríire ti àwọn oṣù alápọ̀nlé tó wọlé dé wẹ́rẹ́ sí àwọn múmìnì àti múmìnì òdodo ilẹ̀ wa àti káàkiri àgbáláyé fún ti òṣùpá tí wọ́n rí láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwẹ̀ ọgbọ̀njọ́ náà. Àtẹ̀jáde yìí tí olórí àwọn olùdámọ̀ràn pàtàkì fún aláṣẹ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìròyìn àti ìpolongo Garba Shehu fi léde lórúkọ aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ló ti kí wọn kú oríire ti àwẹ̀ ọgbọ̀njọ́ tó ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ lónìí, eléyìí tó ń pè fún ìṣẹ́ra ẹni àti ṣíṣe ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn aláìní láwùjọ. Aláṣẹ ṣàpèjúwe ààwẹ̀ Ramadana tọdún yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí èyí tó yàtọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìpèníjà ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn coronavirus eléyìí tó ti gbòjì kan káàkiri àgbáláyé bíi igba orílẹ̀-èdè, tó sì jẹ́ wípé gbogbo wọn pátá ló ń lọ gbọmọgbọmọ fún àwọn èèyàn wọn wípé kò gbọ́dọ̀ sí ìpéjọpọ̀, tó sì jẹ́ wípé kó wá ni yóò dágbà ààwẹ̀ rẹ̀ tí wọn yóò sì ṣe iftar wọn ní ilé ìkóra wọn pẹ̀lú mọ̀lẹ́bí wọn. Ó rọ àwọn mùsùlùmí kí wọ́n kóra ró lórí bí wọ́n ṣe máa ń kọwọ́ bọwọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ rí lásìkò oṣù alápọ̀nlé báyìí, kí wọ́n sì gbà bí nǹkan ṣe rí lọ́dún yìí. Ó gbàdúrà ìbùkún tó máa ń rìn pẹ̀lú oṣù mímọ́ náà fún wọn. Síwájú sí i, wọ́n ní bí ẹyẹ bá ṣe ń lọ báyìí náà la ṣe ń sọ̀kò ẹ̀. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn níbí ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún náà ló ti kí àwọn mùsùlùmí kú oríire ti oṣù Ramadana eléyìí tí ó wọlé dé. Ó sì rọ̀ wọ́n kí wọ́n ṣe àmúlò àwọn àǹfààní tó rọ̀gbọ̀kú sínú oṣù mímọ́ náà láti fi tún ìgbàgbọ́ wọn nínú Ọlọ́run Allah ṣe, kí wọ́n sì rí wípé ohun tó jẹ́ ìwà mímọ́ òun náà ni wọ́n ń dágbálé, èyí tó wà ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àsìkò oṣù alápọ̀nlé, kí wọ́n sì yàtọ̀ fún à ń jẹ oúnjẹ àti à ń mu mímu àmukúdórógbó lásìkò yìí. Nínú àtẹ̀jáde tí akọ̀wé ìròyìn fún gómìnà tí ó fọwọ́ sí, ó ní àsìkò ààwẹ̀ ó pè fún ìṣẹ́ra ẹni àti ìwà mímọ́, kí wọ́n sì bá Ọlọ́run Allah rìn nínú ẹ̀mí, nígbà tó ń tẹnpẹlẹ mọ́ fún wọn wípé kí wọ́n rí wípé wọ́n tẹnpẹlẹ mọ́ àwọn ohun tí ó jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ lásìkò oṣù Ramadana, kí wọ́n sì rí pé wọ́n fi ìsìn wọn fún Ọlọ́run Allah láì jẹ́ wípé mẹ́rí. Ó rọ àwọn mùsùlùmí náà kí wọ́n lo àsìkò Ramadan àtọdún yìí eléyìí tó jẹ́ pé yàtọ̀ gédégédé látàrí ti ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 tó gbòjì kan káàkiri àgbáláyé, láti fi túbọ̀ képe Ọlọ́run Allah fún ìwòsàn pípé àti dídẹ́rọ̀ ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn náà. Síwájú sí ẹgbẹ́ ìṣèlú People's Democratic Party PDP, àwọn pàá náà ti rọ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí kí wọ́n lo àsìkò oṣù alápọ̀nlé yìí láti fi gbàdúrà gidi fún orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà yìí, kí wọ́n sì yàgò fún àwọn ìwà kò tọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀sìn Islam ṣe fi kọ́ wọn. Àtẹ̀jáde náà tí akọ̀wé ẹgbẹ́ náà Kọ́lá Ọlọ́gbọ́dìyàn tí ó fọwọ́ sí tọ́ka sí wípé àsìkò Ramadana ló jẹ́ àǹfààní ńlá fáwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láti fi tọpasẹ̀ ìwà mímọ́, kí wọ́n sì fi súnmọ́ Ọlọ́run Allah pẹ́kípẹ́kí. Ó ní wíwọlé oṣù alápọ̀nlé nírú àsìkò yìí ó ń túbọ̀ pè fún ìfẹ́ tí Allah tó ní sí àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀dá, tí ó sì ń ṣe àfihàn rẹ̀ láti gbà wọ́n nínú ìpọ́njú gbogbo. ó wá rọ àwọn ènìyàn kí wọ́n fi àsìkò yìí lo ìfẹ́ pẹ̀lú ọmọlàkejì wọn pàápàá àwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún ní àwùjọ. Ẹgbẹ́ PDP náà túbọ̀ gba àwọn ènìyàn lámọ̀ràn kí wọ́n túbọ̀ mú ìmọ́tótó ní ọ̀kúnkúndùn ní àsìkò yìí. Ní ìtẹ̀síwájú ìgbésẹ̀ rẹ̀ láti wá ìdẹ̀rùn fún àwọn aráàlú lásìkò àjàjò ti ìtànkálẹ̀ àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn coronavirus, gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ àná ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tó tún jẹ́ aṣojú fún ẹkùn ìdìbò àárín gbùngbùn ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn aṣòfin Ìbíkúnlé Amósò ló ti pín oúnjẹ fún gbogbo àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tó wà lójú iṣẹ́ lásìkò ìwọ̀yá ìjà pẹ̀lú dídẹ́rọ̀ àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 yìí. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Lẹ́kan Agbọ́ndẹ tó tẹ̀lé wọn lásìkò náà jábọ̀ wípé ìrẹsì àti àwọn ohun jíjẹ míì ni wọ́n pín fáwọn agbófinró, àwọn akọ̀ròyìn àti 50 àwọn lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́. Ohun ìròyìn yẹn pọ̀ tó bá dòmí tán ẹ ó máa gbọ́ nínú ìròyìn wa lọ́jọ́ míì. Wípé àrùn coronavirus wà lóde lásán ó jẹ́ ohun tó ń kani láyà tó sì ń kóni láyà sókè ká tilẹ̀ má wàá sọ ọ̀nà tó ń gbà ran ènìyàn ká tó tún wá sọ wípé inú afẹ́fẹ́ òun ló ti ń bá rìn dọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀dá. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Anthony Gbọ́dúnú ló lọ wádìí lọ́dọ̀ àwọn onímọ̀ láti mọ ibi tí àrùn náà ń gbà ṣe ọṣẹ́ gan tó fi ń ran àwọn ènìyàn jùlọ. Ẹ gbọ́ ìròyìn síwájú sí i látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Ṣèyí Ògúnbáyọ̀.
Àrùn tó ń bá èémí ara jà, àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ sọ pé ó máa ń ta àtàrí láti ọ̀dọ̀ èèyàn kan sí òmíràn láti àwọn ibi tí afẹ́fẹ́ ń gbà wọnú ara wa. Nígbà tí ẹni tí ó ní kòkòrò àrùn náà bá sín tàbí húkọ́, ìwádìí fi hàn pé èyí tó pọ̀ lára itọ́ tàbí kẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀ tó jáde lẹ́nu tàbí imú ẹni tí ó ní àrùn náà ló jẹ́ ọ̀nà àkọ́kọ́ láti kó ìràn àrùn náà ran ẹlòmíràn. Ìdí èyí ni àjọ tó ń dènà ìtànkálẹ̀ àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà fi dámọ̀ràn pé kí gbogbo ènìyàn yẹra fún ìkórajọpọ̀ èyíkéyìí kí wọ́n sì máa lo aṣọ ìbòjú kí ó bá lè dín ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn náà kù. Pẹ̀lú bí atótónu náà ti wáyé, àwọn tí ó ń kú látàrí àrùn àjàkálẹ̀ COVID-19 túbọ̀ ń pọ̀ sí i. Àwọn ènìyàn ló tún lérò pé àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn kòrónà ló tún bá afẹ́fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́, bó lè yẹ pé ìjọba ń ṣiṣẹ́ láìkáàárẹ̀ láti dẹ́kun ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn náà síwájú sí i. Ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn sọ pé ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀tun ni wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ṣàmúlò rẹ̀ dípò òfin kànńpá. Àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n lẹ́ka ìlera ẹ̀wẹ̀ pè fún ṣíṣe ìgbọràn àti àtẹ̀lé sí àwọn òfin tí àwọn elétò ìlera pèsè rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba láti dènà ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 láwùjọ wa. Ṣèyí Ògúnbáyọ̀ ló ń jábọ̀ ìròyìn tó lè ṣe Nta Abeokuta.
Ọọ̀ni ti Ilé-Ifẹ̀ Ọba Adéyẹyè Ògúnwùsì ti fa ẹ̀bùn ọkọ̀ tí wọ́n fi ń fún oògùn apakòkòrò méjì lé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun lọ́wọ́ láti lè fi oògùn apakòkòrò sí àárín ìlú láwọn ibi tó yẹ gbogbo pẹ̀lú èròǹgbà ti dènà àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn coronavirus ní ìpínlẹ̀ náà. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Fẹ́mi Afáriogun ló jábọ̀ wípé gómìnà Gbóyèga Oyètọ́lá ló gba àwọn ẹ̀bùn ọkọ̀ náà lọ́wọ́ kábíyèsí nílùú Òṣogbo. Ẹ gbọ́ bó ṣe lọ síwájú sí i látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Fẹ́mi Afáriogun.
Àgbélẹ̀rọ apakòkòrò tí wọ́n ṣe àfihàn ni wọ́n ti kọ́kọ́ ṣe àyẹ̀wò wọn ní Ilé-Ifẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ díẹ̀ sẹ́yìn. Èròǹgbà Ọọ̀ni ni láti pín ẹ̀rọ yìí jákèjádò gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè yìí, ṣùgbọ́n ó kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ilé ìyẹn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun pẹ̀lú bí ó ṣe fún ìjọba Ọ̀ṣun ní méjì ẹ̀rọ náà.
Ṣùgbọ́n ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ibí kò sẹ́ni tí à ń fẹ́ yìí tí ò kàn rárá. Ó dẹ̀ lágbára púpọ̀ kò lè bà ara wa jẹ́. Ó tó bá ti bọ́ sí ara wa bí ó ṣe ń bọ́ sí ara wa ní ó dàbí ìrì òwúrọ̀ ni, ìrì tó máa ń sẹ́, ìrì sísẹ́ ni nǹkan tá a kàn ń ṣe yìí tó ṣe ń sẹ́ sí wa lára. Àwọn aṣọ wa gbogbo àlébù tó bá ti wà ń bẹ̀ òun ló máa pa gbogbo orú ẹ̀. Àdẹ̀dá ṣe torí àwa ò mọ ìmọ̀ yẹn. Àwọn tó mọ ìmọ̀ yẹn á ti gbé lọ bá wọn tí wọ́n ti kọ́ káàkiri àgbáláyé. Àwọn náà ni wọ́n sọ fún wa pé báyìí ní ká ṣe ṣe o, báyìí ní ká ṣe ṣe tó, nítorí ìdí èyí kò ní jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó máa pa wá lára ní àwọ̀ ara wa. inú gómìnà Gbóyèga Oyètọ́lá dùn sí Ọọ̀ni tí ó sì ní irú ìmọ̀ àti àwárí báyìí ṣe pàtàkì láti lè kojú àrùn kòrónà ní Ọ̀ṣun àti orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Irinṣẹ́ àgbélẹ̀rọ ọ̀hún ni wọ́n ṣe láti lè fín ibi tí ó bá fẹ̀ tí àwọn kẹ́míkà tí wọ́n ń lò kò sì lè ṣe aburú fún àgọ́ ara èèyàn tí ó bá kan ènìyàn lára. Ní Òṣogbo, Fẹ́mi Afárògùn ló ń jábọ̀ ròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ NTA.
tó láìpẹ́ láìjìnà káláwòrán bí kó bá wa káwọ́ àrùn burúkú kúrò nílẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí á tẹ̀lé ìlànà mọ́tótó eléyìí tí ìjọba àti àwọn elétò ìlera tí wọ́n ti là kalẹ̀ tí wọ́n sì ń lọ gbọmọgbọmọ fún wa á júṣe fún wa. Láti àkókò yìí lọ agogo 6:30 sí 7 àṣálẹ́ lẹ́yìn máa gbọ́ ìròyìn wa lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì àti ní Yorùbá. Mo kí yín títí ọ̀la tá tún máa pàdé. Ẹ kú kalẹ̀.
...30-day Ramadan fast, but this year they are witnessing Ramadan with a difference. In this report, correspondent Musbah Wahab highlights the peculiarities in this Ramadan under lockdown.